Hello there, the name's Josh, and I've been up for days on end trying to figure out what is going on with Deltarune's spade family. The reason behind my endless all-nighters of research all sprouted from the line, "You tell Lancer you can't tell the difference between his clothes and his body. He seems flattered," you can see when complimenting him in the game's first battle. Question is, which parts of Lancer are clothes and which parts are body? After extensive research, I can say with absolute certainty that I have no frickin' clue. Well, mostly. There are bits and pieces I can confirm to be one or the other. Let's list those off, shall we? First of all, we got the hands and the feet. I can confirm these are gloves, and use logic from there to assume that these are boots. We don't learn this by looking at Lancer, but at his father. The king's gloves clearly become detached from the rest of his body. From there, we can figure out that the boots are the same deal. Partially because his and Lancer's have such differing patterns, so it's most likely not a biological thing. Okay, so we've got the boots and the gloves. That's pretty much everything we know is clothing on Lancer, for sure. But if we're talking about confirmed body parts, then say hello to every single goddamn spade on this clown. Again, we have to look at the king. The spade on his stomach has a mouth and teeth and a tongue. It laughs and moves all on its own. And the tongue clearly comes from inside the king, as there's no way he's just tucking it all under some fabric. Obviously organic, and less obviously, but still easy to assume, genetic. Lancer has a sort of similar but simplistically same spade sigil situated square on his stomach. You can assume that the mouth is just a thing that spade darkeners are born without and grow to have them throughout something equal to puberty. Regardless, it's part of the body. Now, we look up at the head and face. Finally, we don't have to use King Spade for any context as to what's going on. In Lancer's talking sprite, you can see a defined philtrum. Yes, that's what the little lion animals have there is called. I told you, I put days of research into this. Connecting his mouth with his nose, and subsequently, face spade. Since we know his mouth is part of him, we can use basic biology to conclude that the spade is part of the actual face too. Sorry if I'm coming off a bit heavy-handed here. I'm used to dealing with the FNAF community. As for this blue part, I've seen many artists interpret this as a hood. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this design as a headcanon, but a headcanon is definitely how it should stay. Let me show you how janky and physics breaking would be if this was all a hood. This blue stuff wouldn't be shaped to exactly fit this face spade, and it wouldn't morph and fold with his expression like a brow if it was just some clothing draped over his head. So the entire head is part of Lancer's body. Shocking, I know. However, here's where things get difficult. The dark gray torso. I tell you which way I'm leaning on this one, if I even had the slightest clue as to which thing it would be. At first, I thought it was clothing. No way would Toby Fox make a game where we constantly fight and eventually befriend a new child, right? Right? But then I thought of what I brought before about how clothing can't really be perfectly shaped around an organic bits comes up again, like with the stomach spades. So it's gotta be a body part. But it can't be a body part either. Look at the significant difference in pattern between Lancer and the king. Lancer's goes all the way up to his neck, while the king has this strange reverse widow's peak pattern. And again, I refuse to believe that Lancer and his dad are both willingly naked when clothing clearly exists in Darkener culture. In my panic, confusion, and desperation for answers, I bought the official Lancer plushie from Fangamer. After waiting 3 whole weeks for it to arrive, here's what I found. Okay, so we got the Lancer plushie right here. Don't mind if this falls. I'm just gonna try and... There we go. Hopefully that's good. When I first got it, I thought, hey, this is gonna be good for figuring out what the fuck is going on. Then I realized, oh my gosh, this comes off. It must be clothing, right? Yep. So the plushie had no answers. Legitimately great plushie though. I highly recommend it, as well as Rouse, to any Deltarune fans, which is something I was before this video. In the end, it doesn't really matter what this tiny blue ball is made up of. Whether he's always fully naked, or he's wearing a full bodysuit, face paint, leotard, gloves, boots, hood, mask, and more, it really doesn't matter. Believe what you want to believe. This was just a fun little design breakdown based on a one-off joke from a game where you can make Barney the dinosaur throw a wizard furry at a thick checker piece like he's a football. Let me know what you think of this family's whole scenario in the comments below. Stay safe out there, and I hope to see you next video. But I swear to God, Toby Fox, if I don't get answers in chapter 2, I'm gonna...